So what's up, Zoomies? Welcome back to episode 5 of the HVAC Zoomies Podcast, hosted by Rhydon and Rachael. As 5 lights are going up on the board. It's lights out.
And away we go.
Nailed it.
Yeah, you did. You totally did.
No, you nailed it. You nailed it.
I did
you.
too. No, it's you. No, you
stop.
No, you. Awesome. Oh my god, Waxer just messaged me. Hey Rachel, you booked for anything on May 6th? Sorry, got distracted.
What's up, HVAC Doc?
And he
Popping
just
in.
knows when I'm on with you.
Just popping in during the discussion.
Yeah.
So what's up, everybody? Welcome back. We are 5 races deep now into the Formula One season. Is it 5 races? Oh,
it is.
Yeah.
5 races, yes.
No, we're getting ready to be 5 races deep. So we're 4 races deep. Yep. So week 5 of Formula One 2025 season. We just wrapped up Bahrain, getting ready to go to Saudi Arabia and the Jeddah Corniche circuit. That's such a fun word to say. Corniche.
That is fun.
I also like Corniche hens. Are they related? I don't know.
Delightful.
The little birds.
Mm-hmm.
My dad used to,
Delicious.
Cajun Joe liked to call them underprivileged chickens.
Cajun Joe is something else.
That is the truth. Actually, I got to spend a little bit of time with Cajun Joe and Mama Jess Monday night. So
that's nice.
I hadn't got to see them in a hot minute, so it was good to spend some time with Mom and Dad. But we'll get to that here shortly. So as everyone knows, this show talks about HVAC news real fast so that we can talk about cars that go real fast. So taking down Article 1 of our HVAC news and industry roundup, coming from ACHR News, just posted, I think yesterday, or maybe it should be posted today. But as we all know, we have had some 454B issues, and no, this came out today. And Honeywell has announced a 42% surcharge on R454B.
Yikes.
So yay for more bad news for contractors that were already dealing with massive shortages of this new refrigerant, which has nothing to do with the refrigerant itself. Everything I have read, it has to do with not being able to get the cylinders to put it in. So hooray, hurrah. The rate it's going, we're all going to be wishing we went to R32, it seems like.
I know.
What did Goodman know that the rest of us didn't? Jeez. But yeah, so the notification letters apparently went out on April 11th, which just followed a 15% increase that was implemented on A2L refrigerant in February, another 8% that was in March. So, yeah.
Oof.
Don't even want to talk about it. It's that bad.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I don't know about you guys, but here, air conditioning is not a requirement. It's not, there's no upper limits of temperatures that we legally have to maintain. There is obviously a lower limit, but no upper. So I think you're going to see a lot more people being without if things continue the way they are.
Well, and that's the thing, what's crazy is the explanations don't make sense, because if A2L cylinders are the problem, then why can we get R32, which is also an A2L refrigerant? So I really don't understand it. Now, some of that may just be the sheer fact that more people went to 454B as opposed to people that went to R32. But 454B is still a mixture of R32 and 1234YF. So it still takes R32 to make 454B. So I don't know.
Can we get all mad scientisty and mix it ourselves? I mean,
probably
there
not.
are those guys out there. You
I'm
know
sure
those
there probably are,
guys.
but it's probably not the smartest idea. I'm sure Mr. Fat Cheeto might have a video about that at some point. He'll be walking around with a drum of 32, and then he'll walk into an auto parts store and come out with his little can of
His
car AC
cocktail?
1 2 3 4 YF and be like, "What are we gonna make with this today?" I could see that happening.
Oh yeah. Oh, it's been known to happen. A lot of guys do it. I personally have never done it, but yeah, it can be done. And HVAC guys are very resourceful. You know, I have to stop saying guys, HVAC people.
HVAC peoples.
Persons.
Yes, HVAC persons. That's a good one. So I know Chemours is another manufacturer of 454B. According to the article, ACHR News reached out to them to kind of ask whether they were planning to have a price increase in response to Honeywell. I have not received an answer. Hey, and you know what's funny? We keep talking about Reddit, and right here in this ACHR News article, it says, on a Reddit thread, some
Yep.
contractors blame the refrigerant manufacturers for failing to anticipate the demand, leading to inadequate production and supply. As one commenter noted, they didn't expect the industry to start selling R454 units until the second or third quarter. Well, it is the second quarter.
Yes.
In order for us distributors to sell it in the second or third quarter, the manufacturer is going to have to be selling it in the first quarter. So I don't know, and everyone else they started running out of 410, so they started converting it over. I mean, what do you want the manufacturer to do? They are trying to live by the laws this country has imposed upon them to get everything done, but it's still just. Anytime we have transitions like this, it's a pain in the ass.
Yeah.
But this one is
hiccups, but
really,
this is a big one, yeah.
yeah, this one's really throwing some monkey wrenches into everything. So I think it's going to be a long, frustrating summer when it comes to refrigerants.
And I have, many buildings with R22, so doing some of these retrofits and things and trying to get new equipment up, this is definitely going to pose a problem.
Absolutely. So moving on to Article 2, this one comes from our other favorite news outlet, the Cooling Post, and we're going over to the United Kingdom for this little tidbit, and the article is titled, Brits Worry That Heat Pumps Are Too Expensive. So apparently British people would be more open to switching to heat pumps, but more than half of them believe they are too expensive, according to a survey. Survey by Savanta on behalf of the Heating Trades Network also found that over a third of Brits would be open to switching if better financing were available, and almost half would make the switch if electricity became cheaper. So I completely understand that from both points. I know I would say in the last 10 years, financing options in the U.S. have become much more available. Almost every manufacturer has some kind of financing assistant partner to help their elite dealers have access to financing for homeowners. I don't know how all that works in that market, but I'm curious if, is it more contractors maybe just aren't used to offering it if it's available? Because I know that was a problem over here for a very long time. I don't know if it is in Canada or how that works.
Well, we did actually. We just came out of one where we had a couple of rebates that were available from, like, subsidies from the government to switch over to heat pump, and it was a big hit, so big that they had to shut it down. I think it was 2 years early because they ran out of money.
Well, and we've had all kinds of incentives like that down here too, and even from upper government level to state level to local and regional level. There's even ones through power co-ops and power companies. So there's all kinds of heat pump rebates for high SEER efficiency stuff.
Yeah, I'd like to see the electrical companies get into subsidizing some of this, because right now it's the gas suppliers that are subsidizing upgrades. So yeah, that's probably something that might happen here.
So, like I said, I'm curious. They obviously don't have. I guess Britain's more on the level with where y'all are in Canada as opposed to the U.S. So climate wise, heat pumps for cooling and heating are a bit more, probably considered a bit more of a luxury than they are down here.
Yep.
Down here, it's like, it's hot as balls, hook me up.
Yeah.
Or either way. But so
well, that's why I was
it's
curious if there was an upper limit, if you guys have an upper limit temperature wise to maintain, if there's legally something you have to do.
If there is, I've never heard of it, at least not where I am. Now, I could understand if they imposed something like that in, like the deep south, like lower parts of, Arizona, California, Texas, around the Gulf of Mexico, or whatever the Gulf it's named now. And Miami, places that it's just traditionally super hot, super muggy. There probably is stuff. I would almost guess there's even at least probably some local regulation, maybe, but I don't know for sure. That's an interesting one to ponder. I guess that's something we need a guest correspondent from the Miami race that can shed light on that problem, as well as what it's like to race around the Hard Rock. So I don't know. It's food for thought.
Perfect.
And then moving on to our last news and industry catch-up story for the week. I got a new job.
Yes. Great news.
Yes. So after a month of being a house husband and local dog caretaker.
Pickle purveyor.
Yes, purveyor of new pickle snacks. Yes. So that I can send Rachel pictures and she can go, why don't we have this in Canada? I am finally back to work. I started as an account executive at Carrier Enterprise Southeast on Monday. I'm very excited. I went to do my onboarding up in Asheville. People don't know where I'm at. I'm just north of Charlotte in a little area called Concord. I grew up 3.5 hours west of here. Asheville is 2.5 hours west, so I was lucky enough. I got close to home Monday. I went and spent the evening with Mom and Dad, took them to dinner. Dad tried to buy me dinner, and I waited till he wasn't looking, and I snuck my card to the little guy behind the counter, and he told him to tell my dad his money is no good here.
Yes, of course. That's what you have to do. Good son.
Yes. Yeah. Had to let him feel like he was going to get to pay, and I was like, nope, you're not going to do it. And he's like, well, I'm leaving the tip. Okay, Dad, you can leave the tip. I'm very excited. The job is a new sales role that the company has not had before, so I get to kind of help write the playbook of how it is done, which also is very exciting to me. And, really my focus for the first 3 months is really going to be just learning all of the company tools and everything else. Also getting very familiar with the Carrier and Bryant product, because I've sold up against it for many years, but I've never sold it. So there's always additional quirks and perks and different things to learn about the product. I also have gotten to see some of the new stuff that is coming over the summer post this super crazy refrigerant change. And there's some really cool products that are going to come out that I'm actually very excited about, and I think can help me make a nice difference in helping to move some business over here. So I'm very excited.
And I'm very excited also for this, so I get the inside scoop of what's coming next.
Right?
Yes. Right. I have an insider now.
Yes, you do.
Yes.
I also learned that there are, 38 Carrier Enterprise, it's either 38 or 36 Carrier Enterprise locations in Canada. There are 158 in the United States. And between the two, it is around 4.7 million square feet of warehouse under roof that they control, which is insane.
Yeah, bonkers. Yeah, that's huge.
And then where I will be in North Carolina, we have 12 branches in North Carolina and 3 distribution centers. So North Carolina is my territory, my whole state is. So I will be selling from the Wilmington branch all the way up into the mountains, and the Asheville branch from one end of this long state to another. But I'm excited because in the 15 years I've been doing this, I've got relationships now that are all over the place. So now I get to go see a lot of people that I haven't got to work with for years and kind of rekindle some relationships. And I think it's going to be a lot of fun.
Oh, so excited for you. This is a great opportunity. And I'm pretty sure we talked about this, just saying, I hope someday very soon you look back and see what happened as an opportunity. And, this is great. This is so promising.
Yep, I think so. So stay tuned for more info. I know I dropped my my job change information on social media last night and this morning, and I've had massive response to it. So thank you everybody that is behind the scenes supported me through, over a month of figuring things out and a bit of a transition. I kept it, pretty close to the chest on purpose because I don't really feel like it does any good to go and complain and bitch about the place you were before. The way things ended were unfortunate, but I did learn a whole lot of things over the 2 years.
And you take that with you, right?
And
they don't get to keep that.
Yeah, they don't get to keep the knowledge that I learned, and they don't get to keep the relationships I built either. So there's a lot of positive, despite the fact that it was a very negative experience at the very end, unfortunately. But it is what it is, and happy to be back. So if anybody is interested in having a conversation about what Carrier Enterprises and Carrier and Bryant products can do for you, reach out. Let's have a conversation. And on that note,
always
I guess it's
the
time.
Sales rep, eh? Always the
sales rep. Always the sales rep. So with that, I guess let's talk Bahrain Grand Prix. Since 1961, JP Lamborn Company has been the name behind some of the best flexible duct products in the business. A third-generation family-owned company that built its legacy on integrity, innovation, and service. That same spirit drives them today, with antimicrobial technology, top-tier materials, and a relentless focus on quality. When contractors need a product they can stand behind, JPL delivers. It's more than just flex duct, it's peace of mind. JPL, the name you know, the quality you trust, and the flex that delivers.
This was the race I was waiting for. This had all the action. This was such a good race. Yeah, very happy about how a lot of this turned out. Some great, some terrible, but just all around, this is what you want out of an F1 race.
I think, looking at it, I haven't reread them yet, but I think this is the best we've both done on predictions overall.
On our predictions? Did we?
Yeah, so I'll go through our bold predictions for Bahrain. My 3 were a McLaren victory. Get in there, Oscar.
Mm-hmm.
A Merc double top 5, failed on that one. And Yuki to get a top 10. Yes. Get in there, little man. Yeah. Love it. So yeah, I was 2 for 3, which is I'm very pumped up about.
Yeah. Well, you're like 2.5 for 3. Like, George was still there.
George was there. He did a good job fending off Lando there at the end because Lando was all over him.
Oh, yeah.
And then your bold predictions. So a Mercedes top 3. Mm-hmm. Get in there, George.
Did it.
Williams top 10. No, it was a bad day for our friends at Williams.
I know.
And then Ollie top 10, coming from the bottom of the grid, getting some points.
He was exceptional.
Solid race. Haas had a great weekend, which we kind of were curious if that would happen because they did have a good weekend in China. So we now kind of know that some of these bigger kind of open passable tracks with a lot of high speed, Haas has got a good car for that. So it's going to be interesting.
And we saw Ollie before when he subbed in for Carlos at Mercedes. Like he's a great driver. Ferrari. Wrong one. He's a great driver. The potential is there.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
So out of our bold predictions, what do you think was most surprising to come true and most surprising to not?
Well, I'm pretty sure we fought over Yuki top 10, and I took Ollie, so I am gonna go with Behrman top 10. That was the points we didn't see coming.
Yeah, well, and not knowing that he was gonna be at the bottom of the grid as well. Mm-hmm. So
I should get an extra for that.
Gosh. Give him an inch to take a mile. I was frustrated with Williams after seeing Carlos Sainz get in the top 8.
Yep.
in qualifying. I really thought he was going to have a better car, but I swear that car just, neither him nor Alex really had a good race at all.
No. Oh.
He struggled for pace most of the race.
Yeah. Yeah, that was tough to watch.
Now, race conditions wise, it's almost always a two-stop now because that track has not been resurfaced since it was built, so it's very abrasive. But I feel like the debris safety car, I don't really know if it deserved a safety car, but it sure helped the race stay a bit exciting.
Yep.
There's plenty of other races I wish they'd have thrown a safety car to get a little bit of excitement.
Mm-hmm.
But, when they threw that out there, the top 5 were able to just cut right into the pits.
Yeah.
But it was, out of the top 5, it was complete mixed strategy in terms of tire choice. So I really didn't know which way it was going to go.
And that whole safety car thing totally threw me for a loop. I was like, what is happening?
Yeah, because at first I couldn't figure out. Yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking. I was like, did Lance wreck again? No. Sorry, Lance.
Easy. He's
Sorry,
been
Lance.
Okay.
He had a rough race.
He did, but he's doing his thing.
So what was... I guess we should go through results real quick. So, final results, that is last year's. Why are you throwing me 2004? There we go. 2005.
Or 2025.
Yes, 2025. My bad. 2000 with a 5 at the end. So, Oscar, George, Lando, Charles, Lewis, Max, Pierre Gasly.
Oh, can't even. We haven't even started talking about him. But carry on.
All I can hear is that Danny Rick one I posted.
Exactly. Like the whole race.
I know. Esteban Ocon at 8th, Yuki Tsunoda in 9th, Ollie Bearman in 10th. Kimi Antonelli was right on Ollie right there at the end. He was charging, trying to get in the 10th, but didn't quite get there. He was about a half a second behind. So Kimi Antonelli in 11th, Alex Albon in 12th, Isaac Hadjar in 13th, Jack Doohan in 14th, Fernando Alonso in 15th, Liam Lawson 16th, Lance Stroll 17th, Gabriel Bortoleto in 18th, the last full qualified driver to finish. Carlos Sainz with a DNF. He had some massive side pod damage. And then Nico Hulkenberg was disqualified. I can't remember exactly what for, but post-race.
Something to do with what was it? I just had it. Over skid.
I was going to say, do you have a skid plate issue too?
Yeah.
Which, I mean, I think we're going to see that more times before the end of the year because these cars are getting to where they're setting these ride heights so low to kind of try to keep their downforce that sometimes, some of that may be just they ended up riding curbs more than they thought they were going to, and there you go.
Yeah.
Let's see. So Red Bull also had some massive pit problems. Max right there at the end was able to sneak into 6th place with a pass. I think it was almost last corner. No, it was turn 4. He set Pierre up on turn 1, and then when he re-got DRS for the second straight, he was able to get around him in turn 4.
Yeah, but Gasly fought hard. He did.
Oh, Gasly fought hard. But Red Bull's pit stops were a massive problem for both Max and Yuki. They both had pit stops in 3 and 4 seconds with the lights weren't turning green, so they weren't released. So
yeah. That was actually pretty funny because old Max would have lost his mind. But I mean, we didn't really hear the radio, so
he probably did lose it, and we just didn't hear it.
Yeah.
Well, I guess we'll know if FIA announces a fine. We'll know.
Exactly.
It was Max. We knew it.
Yeah.
So, Williams, rough day. Haas, double points finish. Alpine. They actually had a fantastic car this weekend for where they've been all year.
He was exceptional. This was like Red Bull Gasly. This was nice. It was good. He's still got it. The little guy.
No, I don't think he's lost it. I think he's been a very solid driver. He qualified 5th. Now, did I think he would stay 5th? No, because I didn't think that car would hold up for 5th. But I'm very impressed that he only lost 2 positions throughout the race, especially with everyone behind him.
Yeah, exactly. I think this was more so not about the driver, but about the car. right?
Yeah,
So,
no, I agree with that, and I think they had a solid strategy. They were able to keep fresh tires for as long as they could, especially being able to hold Max off that long. Now, had Max not had bad pit stop issues, maybe it wouldn't have happened. But that safety car really neutralized a lot of things and kind
mhm.
of, in some ways, started the race over a little bit.
Yep, yeah, but it was pretty crazy from the start.
Well, and Ferrari found a way. Charles and Lewis with the top 5 together,
Yep.
which gets them some points back on the board. And Charles had a really good charge at Lando, which I honestly thought he would have had a bit longer or been a bit closer, but I think Lando just kind of checked out with the speed of that car after a little while. And since he was on mediums and the Ferraris were on hard tires, you'd have thought that the hard tire was the better choice.
Yeah.
But seeing what Russell was able to do with that soft tire and what the McLarens did on the medium, maybe it wasn't, but you never know.
For once, Ferrari didn't botch the strategy.
No,
Not completely.
not completely. And then I did love Max calling Lando out for being ahead of his starting
Yes,
start
right
block.
away. Right away.
He's like, Lando's too far forward. It was
Yeah.
killing me. Everyone's like, how does he see that? And it's like he sees everything. He's freaking
yeah.
Max.
He's Max.
He's Max. It's like you can. What's funny is you can get frustrated by him. Some people can't stand him,
Yeah.
but I continue to grow to love him more.
Hmm.
I really do.
Especially now that he's losing, he's a little more lovable.
He's a bit more lovable when he's not just absolutely dominating.
Yeah, it's
But
just not even fun.
well, and I think you're now actually seeing how good he really is.
Yeah.
You saw him fight and do well, and then all of a sudden he got a rocket ship of a car and he just checked out. I think in some ways, he kind of had that Lewis Hamilton effect where everyone just hated on Lewis because he was just winning and winning and winning and winning.
Yeah.
They're like, it's just a car. Well, I think you're starting to see that, at least for Max, it's not always just the car. I mean, he had to fight to win last year. He is fighting to stay in the fight this year.
Yeah.
And if he picks his battles right, he still will stay in it. But at least
Yeah.
now I feel like we've really got a fight on our hands to watch.
And you got to give it to him. Like, the team is in third place, and that is up until this weekend. That was all Max.
Yeah.
One driver.
Well, there was one statistic that I think I shared it through the Zoomies social stories, but it was points scored by Red Bull in the last 3 years or something, and then it was points scored by Max in the last 3 years. And
Yeah.
the total number of points for drivers that weren't Max was 10th on the grid.
Yeah.
And then Max himself was 1 or 2 versus everyone else's combined points tally. So, I mean, he's been utterly dominant in more ways than one.
Oh my gosh, absolutely.
So what does that leave us at the moment? So current driver and team standings: Lando Norris number 1 with 77 points.
So
Oscar Piastri number 2 with 74. He's coming for you, Lando.
So close.
Max with 69. Russell with 63. So, I mean, the top 4. I mean, when's the last time we had a top 4 that was separated by 14 points?
Yeah.
It's been a hot minute, if ever.
I mean, it's still early on, but yeah.
It's still
you're
early,
right.
but I mean, it's, you're seeing right now that okay, we've got 1 or 2 better results for any of these 4.
Mhm.
This whole top 4 flip flops all around really quick. And then Charles in 5th with 32, Kimi Antonelli, who got no points, but is still, with 30 and 6th.
So good, though.
Yep. Lewis in 7th with 25, Alex Albon in 8th with 18. Esteban Ocon is climbing the table. He's
Look at
now
him.
at 14 points. Lance still in 10th with 10. Pierre Gasly in 11th with 6. Nico 12th with 6. Ollie 13th with 6. Yuki getting on the board too, 14th with 5 points. Isaac Kajar 4 points. Carlos with 1. And then Fernando, Liam, Jack, and Gabrielle with nothing. Poor Fernando. I really want him to have a good weekend.
I know. I do love him.
It's been a struggle. So current team standings, McLaren all over the top of the top step with 151 points. The Mercs with 96. Max and Yuki with 71. Ferrari with 57. Haas with 20. Which, that puts Haas in the top 5 now after
That's
another solid
crazy.
showing.
Yeah.
Yep, Williams in 6th, Aston Martin in 7th, Racing Bulls in 8th, Alpine in 9th, and Sauber in 10th. Now, I think this is the first time all 10 teams have scored points by the 4th race that I remember in quite some time.
Yeah, they're all. It's so fun. It's been a good season. You really don't know what's happening next.
And we've still got 20 more races.
Yeah, you can't just usually by now, a couple of years, you've been able to pinpoint exactly how this is going to lay out.
Yep.
And you really can't.
What's up, trade crew? You've heard the buzz, you've seen the press gang at every single AHR. Contractors across the country are ditching their torches for RLS press fittings, and they're not looking back. Why? Because RLS lets you finish faster, safer, and cleaner. From rooftops to mechanical rooms, crawl spaces, and attics, it's a press-and-go solution that's leak-tested, UL recognized, and proudly made in America. Make the switch to RLS and take the heat out of your installs, literally. RLS, rapid locking system, press forward and press on. So, now we go to Jeddah, to the Corniche. God, I love saying that word. It's so funny. So, Jeddah is a very interesting track. It is the fastest street track, hands down. Super fast. It's very similar to Silverstone in terms of speed. Heavy, 3 DRS zones. So there's a lot of high speed, a lot of high risk, but it's also very technical. So it's the fastest street circuit, but it's still got 27 turns. Mm-hmm. Some of them are. It's very interesting. I think this track, I would be shocked if we don't see a safety car, perhaps 2 or 3. It will blow my mind because this track can catch you out real quick.
Yeah.
Which I know Ollie had raced in Bahrain last year. Did he? I can't remember if he raced in Jeddah, but I swear I thought he ran a practice session there was a rookie that ran a practice session that had a massive crash. I just can't remember who it was. For some reason, I was thinking he had wrecked a Ferrari. He may not have.
No, I don't remember.
So if I'm calling you out, Ollie, I'm sorry. I apologize. But hey, you just got another top 10, so good on you, brother.
Yeah.
So this is going to be an interesting one. I also feel like this potentially is one where that Red Bull, if Max has a good day, because of the technique it takes for a lot of these corners, it's similar that he could have some kind of Suzuka-esque chance at a victory here. I think he does.
It's interesting. Is
just because
that where we're starting with
he knows what
prediction?
He can. I don't know. Mm-hmm. I think Max should be a top 5 in this track.
He
just
should.
Because of he knows how to put that car on the edge. And I think after we saw the level of risks, when he took pole in Suzuka and was like, I almost crashed 5 times because he knew he was putting it on the limit, it would not shock me that if he came through and had another crazy race weekend like that here. The only thing there is, he only had one major straightaway plus 130R to deal with in Suzuka. Here he's got, the main straight, and then he's got kind of that longer sweeping straight on the back that I think having 2 of those long straights back to back is where Oscar Orlando could catch him if he's able to get in front of him.
Yeah, agreed. Yeah, I think the McLarens are going to dominate this one. I just they're both good street drivers too,
Yeah.
right? They're both good on street tracks. So I still think it's Max is definitely going to be dominant in this, but I just don't know where he's gonna place exactly.
Well, I'll go ahead and drop 2. I know we're not to bold prediction
Ahead.
time, but we're getting there. I feel like I'll put Max in the top 5 and you get the McLaren win this week.
Oof,
So
okay. Started. Just decided for me, I guess. No.
I mean, you pretty much just said it.
Yeah.
You just called it out.
It's true. It's true.
I
think we can't. I think we should actually not allow ourselves to say McLaren win because they're both such good drivers in a good car. Well, I think we have to call it one or the other. I think so.
All right, so you say Lando win, I'll say Oscar win. Just kidding.
Yeah, okay. I'm okay with that because I think this is a more technical track. I think Lando has more experience.
I don't know.
Mm-hmm. Okay, well, we'll see.
I don't know. Dang it. All right, well, I got 2 already out there, so I done shot my shot. But yeah, fastest street circuit. What are you thinking? What are you thinking? Mercedes and Ferrari, I feel like are the wild card at any of them, because I think at one point either one, Ferrari can crop up and have a solid showing out of nowhere, and Mercedes is George has been solid so far this year.
And Antonelli is great,
but Antonelli's been solid too. So I feel like that third and fourth battle right there. And I say that, Max is keeping Red Bull in second at the moment. Mm-hmm. Well, I guess, what are we thinking kind of the lower guys? What do we think we're going to get out of Yuki in this track? Do you think he's going to stay top 10?
I think he'll stay top 10, but I think he might struggle for that. I think he has the ability to do it. We already know the car can do it, so it's just up to him. And I think
didn't Checo win in that car? Checo won Jeddah.
Well,
in
Checo
that
was
car.
Also really good on street tracks. Exceptionally good.
He was.
Yeah.
So, which granted, that was what, 2022 maybe? Mm-hmm. I think. When Checo won.
Was it that long ago? I don't remember.
Dang it, now I'm going to have to look. Where's my past winners? Where's the past winners tab?
Oh, results. Here we are. Oh my gosh, 1950. No, I don't. I don't need 1950.
No, 2023. So.
Okay.
So I was close. 22 was close. Red Bull won it in 22. Okay, at least I had the right team. But yeah, so
look at that. That was okay. So if we look at 2023, it was Sergio, Max, Fernando Alonso.
Well, because that was when we all thought the Aston Martins were back.
Yeah, exactly.
We're like, holy shit, Fernando's going to be, in the hunt, and then they just whole year they just fell off.
I'm waiting for them. I'm waiting for them to make a surge forward, just based on Newey being there. Just that alone.
I wish there was a tracker we know who was going to bring upgrades to which race.
Yeah,
who's bringing upgrades to Jeddah? F1 teams. What you got for me, Google? All right. Let's see. Ooh, so it looks like Red Bull's going to have an upgrade package. See?
Interesting. This could go either way, though.
Ooh. All right, so let's see. So according to Racing News 365, see, we're finally living up to our racing news really fast now, too. So Red Bull is set to introduce a sizable upgrade package to the RB21. According to sources close to the Milton Keynes teams that have suggested, upgrades will not be immediately visible when the car is running on track, with the main area of focus being the underfloor aerodynamics.
Oh.
Central section of the floor will be modified where it connects with the venturi channels at the side, thus creating a different pressure management underneath the car and moving the center of aerodynamic pressure rearwards. So, like the Ferrari SF25, the RB21 is a sort of mismatch between aerodynamic configuration and vehicle dynamics, which is the current cause of lack of balance and overall performance being endured by Max and Yuki. Team believes that pure performance can be extracted in a proper way with the development program, with Saudi Arabia being the first step in three developmental steps, with the second due for Miami and the final for Imola. So, which Miami's not far down the road either. So, they're going to be going upgrades almost back to back.
Oh, nice.
So, it is all in for Red Bull as it aims to recover and provide a stable performance platform across the next 3 races. So,
let's see. We shall see.
Interesting.
Yeah.
This
might bode well for Yuki, right?
It just might.
Start catapulting him to the front.
Ooh. I also, we didn't have this question before the last one, but I remember asking, I wish we could see what tires they were going to get. Well, I see what we're going to get.
And they
So
are.
we're going to have the C3, the C4, and the C5. So C3 hard, C4 medium, C5 soft. Obviously, they will have wet and intermediates, but pretty sure that we're not going to see those get used, but they're there.
Yep.
Now, circuit information in terms of degradation. This is actually interesting. I've not seen one of these graphics before. So, and they are right on a 1 to 5 scale. So, Jeddah for traction is a 2, tire stress is a 3, for asphalt grip it's a 4, braking grip is a 3, abrasion is a 2, lateral G-forces is a 4, track evolution is a 4, and downforce is a 2. So, with it being a kind of mid traction, mid stress, I think medium is definitely going to be the preferred race tire. I believe and with it not being very abrasive, I'm guessing it's probably going to be a medium to hard or hard to medium. Would be my guess, unless we get a safety car, which we probably will. So I'm curious if who's going to roll the dice, to start on a soft or something and hope they get an extra pit stop out of it. Who knows?
Oh, interesting. Yeah, because this is going to be a one-stop.
Yep.
Race.
Well, and I think they only get 2 sets of hard tires. So they'll use one for a long run in a practice session at one point, and then they may run like one fast lap on the other just to give it a little bit of so it's not quite perfectly fresh and slick. I don't know. It depends, because what's interesting is they don't always save a new set of everything.
Yeah.
You never 100% know what they're going to do depending on what their practice routines are or what they see for the race. So it's going to be interesting.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Degradation, I think, will play a big part because it is a street race. So
I think
George falls apart when there's degradation. Like when his tires start to go, he completely falls apart. Well,
we say that, but he took
the last race.
Like almost 30 laps, something like that.
Yeah.
I can't remember.
Yeah,
exactly.
The last race seemed to be a bit of an exception, and maybe this is him evolving year to year as a driver, right? So,
I mean, they are supposed to get better, or they will not have a seat. So
yeah. I think we've seen some big changes in a lot of the drivers this year.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah.
And I think it's changes in maturity, changes in role.
Mm-hmm.
So, what else do you think for bold predictions here? What else is going to happen that's crazy?
Hold on. I had it, and I was looking at it. I was looking at the list, and now I've lost it. Oh, gosh. I would like to see. I would like to see Kimi Antonelli. I would say like this is a tough track, so I'm gonna say top 10. But
All right. Kimmy top 10.
yeah,
Kimmy cracks 10, and I don't care.
he's been exceptional, like the best rookie we've seen. But he's also
He's been
solid. But
I think. Well, you know what? I think the battle for Rookie of the Year is going to come down to Kimmy, Ollie, and Isaac.
yeah,
I think Jack Doohan's had some standout points, but unfortunately, I think that car is going to probably prevent him from rolling into that.
Mm-hmm.
And I think really it's going to come down to Kimmy and Ollie. I think Hajar has done very, very well, but Ollie Behrman just continues to put in some freaking performances in that Haas.
Yeah.
So I think him and Kimmy are going to be fighting it out for Rookie of the Year.
Yeah, Kimmy has been great. Really, really good. Yeah. I would like to see the Williams really show us, because like poor Carlos, he has had a rough start.
I know. I want those guys to do well. And like I said, I felt like this past weekend, seeing him qualify ahead of Alex, I felt like was going to give him a confidence boost that he needed.
Mm-hmm.
But unfortunately, he kind of just fell apart in the race, which I hated to see.
Well, I don't necessarily know if it's him or if it's the car. Like, he's just not won with the car yet. But in qualifying, he was great.
Well, and I think some of that, he was able to extract a little bit more out of it because he was really good in preseason testing there, so I felt like he had a lot to pull from there, track knowledge wise with that car. But I think there's just over the first 3 races, people learned enough more about true race capability of their machines that allowed them to kind of surpass what Williams was hoping was in a better spot for them, unfortunately. I don't know. So what do you think? You think you're going to see a Williams top 10, or do you think you're going to see a Carlos top 10?
Oh, that's a bold prediction. Okay, might be a little too bold for my liking. I don't want to just give up the point.
I don't want to just give up a point. Oh.
I don't think he has it there yet. But he's got so much driving experience that this course will play well to his experience.
Yes, I definitely think courses like this that are very technical and they pay really great dividends to certain risks, but those certain risks will also bite you in the ass real quick.
Yeah.
So that's why I think we're pretty much bang on to get a safety car. Actually, that's a bold prediction.
Right there, yeah.
Guaranteed safety car.
Yes. I was going to go with a definite collision. There's going to be a collision and someone's going to get taken out of the race.
Guaranteed DNFs.
Yes.
Which the real question is, it's different in saying a true safety car versus a VSC. I think you're almost likely to see a VSC in any track, but this one, I would be shocked if we don't see a safety car in this race because of the amount of young drivers that are on the course.
Yeah.
And I mean, and that's nothing against the rookies. There are plenty of seasoned drivers that have wrecked on this one too.
Yep.
Max included, because wasn't his qualifying run when he was trying to take pole again, and he clipped the wall with his back tire.
Yeah, was that last year? Oh, I think that was last year. Dang it.
We know it happened at some point in the past. So, but yeah,
so as far as the season predictions,
yes.
okay. Like, I need to take out Lando continues bad starts because, like, the last race was an incredible start.
No, it was a bad start because he got a 5-second penalty for not being in his daggum starting position.
You're not wrong.
I mean, you're halfway home with that one. If he gets another penalty for setting up wrong, I think you about get it.
But man, he went from 6th to 4th in like no time. Like in the first lap,
like 6th to 3rd.
Third or 4th?
I think he went 3rd.
Okay,
like on the first lap.
That is so not Lando. He did it. He did the thing.
I think the Merc struggles one's still what's going to kill you. I think that's going to kill you way more than poor Lando. Yeah. Of course, me putting Williams' podium up there, I might be in trouble too.
Yeah, I think it's a matter of time. Yuki's going to get a podium for sure.
Piastri asserting his dominance. So that's 3 words. I've highlighted his name, so I'm a third of the way there. I feel like if he continues on this trajectory, close, getting there.
He's so good. He's doing so well. Yep. I loved listening to his radio at the end of the race. He was just so calm and cool. Like, he was just like, yep, thank you very much. I'm glad it came out. Happy to entertain you people. Goodbye now. Like, that was it. It was just so calm. Everybody else screams and yells and cries and sound like a baboon, and not him. He was just like...
Because he's playing the long game.
Oh, yeah.
Playing the long game. Now, if he pulls off his first world championship, and he's that stoic, then I will be like, all right, we definitely have the new Kimi Räikkönen on our hands. But
Kimi was so entertaining.
He was so entertaining, but he was so stoic at the same time. Yeah. It was always so funny. Well, there you have it, folks. Race number 5. We're not very far from practices getting started, so hopefully I get this thing turned around quick enough to get it out tomorrow so that it goes out before we have a race to watch.
Psyched. This is going to be a great one, I think.
Yep, me too. Yeah. So everybody, please make sure you go and follow HVAC Rach at HVAC RACH. Follow HVAC_Rhino, HVAC _RHYNO, and follow HVAC R&D, our parent show. Our patron show. I still think it's patron show. I know we're bringing back a conversation from a couple weeks ago. But I'm pretty sure it's our patron show. And go check out the at HVAC Zoomies Instagram, where we try to keep it fun and lively, and I try to keep as many goofy F1 memes in the stories for as long as possible, as well as providing some excellent classic driver and classic team principal quotes for your daily reading pleasure.
Those have been so good.
I'm a few behind since I was out of the home office the last couple of days, but I'll get those lined up, scheduled so that everyone can enjoy those. Everybody, thank you so much for listening. We have such a fun time doing this show. I hope you all enjoy it, and we will catch you next week after this race.